Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a nice handful of days, hasn't it, since I've uploaded last. I really kind of need a little bit of a reminder of what's going on. Um, I could hear the eerie sound of wind and rain. Once again, I hastily regained consciousness on top of the bed. The finger that the witch had bitten off was attached to my hand. I started to say that it was all an illusion, but my finger was now attached. After all the pain and the teeth marks as though a witch had bitten it were still there, and yet the window which I had supposedly smashed had been fixed as though it had never been broken in the first place. How can I escape from this creepy room? Why am I locked up in this eerie room all alone? I want to get out. I have to get out. Please let me out. The door was sealed with a firm chain. I could open it a crack, but only enough to peek out into the corridor at best. Even just getting a fist through it would probably be hard. The window wouldn't budge either. It was no better than a barred prison window. The bathroom didn't even have a window. The only thing I could get out of there was the water that flowed out if you turn on the tap. No matter what I do, I can't think of a way out of here. While shut up at a place like this, I truly am a prisoner. Unless someone comes from outside to save me, I won't be able to get out of here for all eternity. In that case, can't I just call for help? Yes, a tiny gap I can make in that door must exist so that I can call for help, but I can make words. Can I make words come out my mouth? Earlier, I tried to call out for help, but for some reason, the words couldn't escape my mouth. Maybe I was just confused. I might have lost my voice in the haste of confusion. I'll open the door and make that crack appear one more time. The warm light of the hallway flowed in, making the darkness of the room stand out all the more. Though I couldn't hear any voices, I did feel something peaceful. I'm sure everyone's in the room at the other end of the hallway, chatting happily about something. If I could just call out, surely someone will come and save me. Holding back some indescribable fear, I tried yelling once more. But the result was the same. It was like trying to yell underwater. All I did was get out of breath, unable to call it in the slightest. Even though I could say as much as I wanted, if I just go by myself in the room, whenever I tried to make my voice reach outside, I choked and I wasn't able to say anything. I understand my body isn't the only thing locked up in this very closed room. My voice is too. Thinking that I could use some kind of other kind of sound to call for help, I tried opening and closing the door violently, making the chain rattle. It does sound as though it's clicking noisily, but it's surely no good. Even the sound is being locked inside this closed room. No matter how harsh a sound I make, I'm sure it'll be quieter than a leaf falling by the time it reaches the other end of the corridor. I tried using the hateful chain that sealed the door to make a sound to call for someone, but that only deepened my despair. This chain, that's insane. This is a second ago, it was stiff as a chain that looked like it might be used to steal a monster away, but at some point it transformed into a normal chain lock. This shit just everything. Now I could just do it from the inside. I tried to undo it, but the chain wasn't long enough for that. All the door was still open and cracking. I couldn't get it off. Obviously, calm down. I gulped it calmly closed the door. Then, when I saw the chain was slackening enough, I touched it with my finger to make sure. When I was little, I hated chains because I could never get them undone right. However, that was a long time ago. Now I could do it and do something like this. Anyone could. It's easy. Clink. I imagined the demon who locked me in this room. He said this as a trap to give me hope, just to make me despair even more. But I pushed those thoughts aside for the time being. I undid the chain lock and the chain dangled there right before my eyes. Now, there's no lock sealing the door. Please don't torment me anymore and just open normally. Slowly the door opened. When I closed the door to undo the chain, the warm light from the hallway got cut off. If I open it again, what if the warm light is gone this time? I was even afraid of stuff like that. However, that was just me over-imagining things. Slowly, quickly, no, I guess this is normal for a door, as door loud and annoying creak. The exit from this cursed closed room finally opened. I did it. Even my cry of joy was strangled, but that doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is I could get out. I poked my head out and looked left and right down the corridor. The warm corridor, I could sense people having fun at the other end. Everyone's right there. Let's go right now. Yeah? At that moment, something cold and heartless crushed my throat. It was as though an iron loop had been fastened around my neck and pulled on hard from behind. No, not as though, without my knowing, at some point, a thick metal collar had been fastened around my neck. When did this happen? When I turned around, I despaired even more. Off on the inner side of the door I had just opened, a thick chain had extended and attached itself to this collar I was wearing. I pulled on it, but it didn't even budge. When I shook it, the whole door creaked. What the hell? The chain connected up to my collar was attached to the inner side of the door. Yes, the same vanishing chain that had secured the door a short while back had become a chain holding me in place. That's insane, Damn it, what's going on here? I pulled with all my strength, trying to tear the whole door off, but I already knew from repeated experiments that it wouldn't even budge. I'm sure this chain will disappear once I go back inside the room, but it'll never let me leave that room. Though it apparently turned back into normal chain lock, nothing had actually changed. The chain lock still bound me to that room. Tears flowing down my face. I pulled it with all I had. It was completely useless. No matter what I did, I'd never tear it loose. And now it's even permitted to call out for help. I felt the confused anger at how the demon had mercilessly made me think that escape for just an instant. But no matter how much I yelled, no voice came out, and no one on the other end of the corridor could hear me. Then I noticed an odd stain on the wall of the corridor. It wasn't a stain, they were letters traced out by a finger that had been covered in red paint. Those letters, which looked like they had been drawn in blood, answered my biggest question. The chain lock must be set. You're allowed to unset it, but it must then be reset. Unless it is set, the 6 of yours will be unusable. I instantly understood the meaning of that ominous message. Then I tried it out and understood completely. Then when I turned to the room and reset the chain lock, the collar on my neck disappeared. When I undid the chain lock, that heavy feeling around my neck returned. In other words, I could not leave this room while the chain lock is still unset. In that case, why don't I just leave the chain while outside the room? Set the chain. I undid the chain one more time. The collar and chain disappeared on my neck again. I stepped out into the corridor and closed the door behind me, leaving only the slice of cracks. I stuck my hand through the crack and grabbed the dangling chain and tried to reset it somehow. Damn it, even though it was so easy to do from the inside, why is it so hard to do from the outside? The gap needed to be wide enough if I wanted to manipulate the chain well. However, that made the chain too short to reach. To make the chain reach just a bit further, I'd have to close the door a little bit more. But if I do that, there won't be enough of a gap to fit my hand. Of course, it was perfectly natural. Chain locks are meant to be used from the inside. They'd be completely pointless if you could set and unset them from outside. That's why the length of the chain is specially chosen to prevent anyone from setting or unsetting it from the outside. Then I could use some kind of hard and thin tool if the gap of the door is just a figure's wide cross. Then that's more than enough for the chain to reach. If I could just bend a wired hanger so that fits through the crack and work the chain with that. That's right, there's a closet just inside of the door. Could there be some hangers in there? Found one. Oh, thank God. It's just a single, cheap-looking hanger like one you might find in the laundry room was hanging there. Really, I'm pretty sure that when I looked a short while ago, nothing like this was in the closet. Oh, who cares? Quickly. I twisted the hanger, bending the end with the tip around. I formed a loop at the end to grab a things with, making for a short burglar's tool. I then dashed out into the corridor again and closed the door almost as far as it would go. My wrist would never pass through this. However, if I closed it this much, the chain should have extra length to spare. And this crack is large enough for me to stick the hanger through, and now it's just a matter of technique. If I keep trying, I'll definitely be able to do it eventually. I'm certain of it. It's harder than it looks, but the chain is long enough. It is impossible. I had finally gotten my hands on the one way to escape. It was hard, yes, but theoretically possible. If it's possible, I'll be able to get out. I'll be able to escape from here. At that moment, I felt a heavy weight on the far side of the door. It felt as though someone inside the room had pressed her forehead against the door and was drawing closer, and she, the witch, had laughed. Then I felt powerful, strange force at the wire hanger. Is she trying to grab it away from me? Yeah, right, like oh hell I'll let go. Like hell I'll let my one key out of the here gets stolen while my guard's down. Fortunately, I stuck my wrist through so that it wouldn't drop if my hand got tired. You don't do this, that's just out of my hands. The witch on the other side of the door laughed at me. Then I noticed something weird. I looked at my left hand, which I pressed against the door to hold it in place, and between the fingers of that hand, I could see something red. They were red letters. I realized immediately. At some point in time, even more bloody letters had been drawn on the floor, and my left hand had been covering them up. Still fighting against the vice-like strength of the witch beyond the door, I moved my left hand to the side, where the head had been bloody letters had indeed been drawn. And there, as though someone had predicted that I struggled this way from the very beginning, was a message from the witch to me. Is it possible to set or unset the chain from the outside by any means? All tricks of the corridor had been sealed by the red letters. No way. And there was suddenly a terrible sound, and the force of pulling on the hanger was suddenly released. Then when I pulled it out and looked, I lost all hope. As though it had been hit by the acid of the room's darkness, the tip of the hanger had burnt and bubbled and melted off. Now it's pitifully short. This can't be used for anything. It would be hopeless to search for a substitute. All schemes to set the chance on the outside have been prevented. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I threw the remnants of the wire hanger against the floor, faced the hallway filled with a warm light and called for help. However, I just choked, unable to speak at all. Everyone's just on the corridor and everyone's peaceful there. I can't hear their voices, but I know, I'm sure they're all having a good time playing cards. Please, someone notice. Someone save me. Simon was at the witch's voice. It was the happiness. It was the happy voice of everyone else, which I could hear coming from the other end of the hallway. Someone come over here and save me. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a quick second to get a drink of water. Okay. Sorry, but I'm out. George Steinman's last card down, ending the game with his victory once again. Everyone gasped in unison. The cousin room was filled with laughter as they enjoyed the card game. Whoa, so you really did have a George Heineke. Damn you, six of spades. The 8 of diamonds is pretty nasty too, Battler. Oh, it was so close. Ooh, you're incredible, George Oni-chan. You won again. Yep, looks like we've won again. Mariah couldn't really hold her own in an all-out battle, so she had teamed up with George, which is why she was celebrating his victory. Utter defeat. Kenan winced and let his cards drop to the table. The game of sevens between Kenan and the cousins had been a fierce battle. Normally they would take things easy since Mariah was there, so the start of the game was rare. Kenan had started taking the game seriously and willing to lose, so George and Battler had responded, and the battle had grown fierce. Unlike Battler, he was carefree enough to enjoy it whether he won or lost. Kenan's mood changed drastically with every victory and defeat. It was less of a dislike for losing and more that he just wasn't used to playing. He wasn't used to trading a few wins and losses with his opponents. He took even losses within the game seriously. Since he had resolved to win, he had unfortunately challenged the veteran players, George and Battler. The result was plain to see. As Kenan slumped his shoulders, Jessica slapped him on the back. Hey, you almost had it. I love fighting a lot like this. Whether you go all out or not, if you just lose in the end, it's all pointless. That's not true. If you really give it your all, there's no reason to get all depressed when you lose. If you lost after hardly trying, then you'd be grumbling and complaining about how you would have won if you'd taken it seriously, right? That's right. People who really give it their all never complain. They're always cheering no matter what the result is. You're right, and the kid can be scarier than anyone else. They always learn something from their experience and grow. Very true. I was a coward, so I could never learn anything. I see that I am still immature. I am furniture, so any dreams I might have are pointless because it's rigidly, I believe that he distanced himself from everything and shut himself away. However, during the same time, Shannon had undergone many life adventures, and now her hand was resting on the door separating furniture and humans. The old Kenan would only have seen this card game as a way to pass the time. However, the new Kenan was now capable of getting something new from this experience. It's probably what it means to grow. Furniture does not rot, nothing but rot with the passage of time. The ability to grow is a privilege given to only humans. Thanks for playing with us. You probably had a work to do, like filling in the log, right? I'm really glad you decided to hang out with us. Don't worry about it. I had a lot of fun, too, or should I say that I realized that this sort of thing is fun. Thanks for pushing so hard for me to come. Let's challenge ourselves more and more, and let us go and find more and more things you didn't know about. Oh, by the way, about we were talking about earlier, if I want to try playing guitar, well, I don't want to force you or anything, but it must be very difficult. Yeah, I guess, but I'll do a good job teaching you, and I'll even practice with you. Well, I guess I'm not that much of an expert myself. At first, Kenan was scared that he might make a complete fool of himself if he touched a musical instrument for the first time in his life. After all, he knew that screwing up like that would make him feel bad. However, Kenan was starting to learn. It's only natural that I'll be bad when I first start. If I try to run away from it, I'll never learn a thing for all eternity. I'll never achieve anything. That's right. Isn't that why people love it when they feel themselves improving? Even I sucked at making my left and right hands move at the same time when I first started, but I slowly got the knack of it, and it started to feel more and more natural. I like to reach that level too. If one path to that goal is playing music with you, my lady, I would love to do that with you. Really, yes. I'm sure I'll be horrible when I start, and I might even make you lose hope in me at times. But if I give it not my all, even mess it up, it's no big deal. That's what I learned from you all just now. You're embarrassing me. I love you more than ever, milady, because I averted my eyes for so long, even though you shone like the sun. I never noticed you when you're right there next to me. Then I better work even harder to make you love me even more. Kenan's serious and competitive words were more than enough to make Jessica shy. However, Kenan's expression unexpectedly clouded. My lady, the reason I love you is so clear. Because of that, I can't bear not knowing. Not knowing what. Why did you start to like me? Unlike you, I don't shine in any sense. Even now, I'm just clinging to your back as you shine no way. I can't think of any reason why you would love someone as shabby as me. That's not true, okay? There are all kinds of good things about you, Kenan. Let me swallow my pride and ask what about me made you like me, my lady? Kenan hung his head since he had never learned anything on his own. He had never been able to take the initiative with her in any way. The fact that he was accepting her affection one-sidedly, unable to do anything but simply receive it, made him sad and frustrated at himself. Jessica was lost for words. After all, compared to the reason that Kenan had started to love Jessica, Jessica's reason was a lot more vague. She had heard Shannon talk about her love with George. And at school, she and her friends had always talked about relationships with boys. There wouldn't be blah blah. There would have been nothing strange about a girl fascinated by the idea of romance developing an interest in a nearby member of the opposite sex. However, if you put that into words, it might be misinterpreted to mean that any nearby boy would have done just as well. However, she could still be proud of the feeling she felt at this very instant. She really did love Kit, and she truly wanted to experience romance. As a result, they might end up together or they might not. However, if she reached that result without holding back, she could accept it no matter what it was. That's why she was able to become serious and honest about how she felt. However, she couldn't find the right words to tell Kenan this. When Kenan saw Jessica bite her lower lip in frustration, he finally realized, I'm such a fool. Huh? What about me do you like? That very question is foolish. It's proof that I'm not serious about myself and that I haven't been able to even understand even myself. It's horrible of me to try and make you say it for me. That's not true. After all, it's the first question any girl would like to ask after being given a love confession. What part of me do you like? It was immature of me to ask you that. How could anyone love someone so immature? But wait, that's not Jessica Panic is trying desperately to explain how she felt. However, Kenan was calm, and then he spoke. In that case, I want you to love me the way I already love you. I decided to start changing myself so that can happen. I could hardly imagine that you would love me as I am, but someday, no matter what, yeah, I'm absolutely sure you'll become a wonderful person, Kenan. A guy so cool that I can't keep my eyes off you. Until then, I'll stick by you all the way. We have plenty of time. But unfortunately, there is that much time left. What do you mean? It usually saddens you when I talk about furniture. However, this is something I must tell you, and it is also something I must fight for with all my soul. What are you talking about? I don't want to hear any more of that I'm furniture, so I can't fall in love talk. You're human, not furniture. Yes, I would like to become human. However, I am still furniture. In that case, just do it. Become human. The witch taught me once about the single element of this world. According to her, it's love. It's something that humans born into this world could take for granted. However, it's not something that those not from this world who are born as furniture could take for granted. In order to gain it for themselves, they must have a magic or a miracle in the same way that Anissa and George Sama would never have ended as they have without borrowing the power of the golden butterfly brooch. I don't really get that last part. But don't you understand? Let me hear it. Since this game began, a large portion of the time has been spent on Shannon and Kenan's determination to fall in love. I've got no problem interpreting that as a story of growth and teenage determination for a girl and boy to call himself furniture. But when the assumptions they make feels really out of place to me. Why is magic necessary? Is that it? Both Shannon and Kenan call themselves furniture. They've always claimed that they can't be love between furniture and humans. At that point, the magic of the golden butterfly brooch comes into play, and as the miraculous result of its magic, love is established between Shannon and George on each end. That's what they claim. It might mean that merely that forbidden love between people of different classes will be unmanageable without a miracle of magic. True, I can accept that Shannon and Kenan, who are servants of forbidden love with the members of the family and then suffering for it, might debase themselves by calling themselves furniture. Then what is it that you can accept without borrowing the power of magic? What's more, marriage will be impossible. That seems to be a common understanding between Shannon and Ken, and I just can't understand that part. After meeting in secret for quite some time, George and Shannon had finally gotten engaged. Both were fully prepared for it emotionally, and though there will be some trouble with the relatives, it would probably be impossible for anyone to prevent their marriage by this point. Trying to stand between the two who wish to wed is as foolish as standing in front of an arrow trying to catch it. Exactly. Now that George and Shannon has sworn to protect his lover for the rest of their lives, he has no need for the fear, opposition, and disinheritance from his parents. On the contrary, he might even consider that a perfect test of his love for her. In other words, they will be married no matter what. No one can stop them, and they both consented to the engagement. No one can stop them or impede them. Trying to break apart lovers is foolhardy adventure. Yeah, and that's what's strange. There's no need for magic. If George and Shannon had wanted Eva's approval for their engagement, then magic might really have been necessary. After all, Eva had forbidden his relationship with her. No matter how much George spoke on Shannon's behalf, the chances of Eva being convinced were very near zero. If that were the case, it would be understandable if they wanted a magic circle that make Eva acknowledge that engagement. However, George Ornington has already made an oath he doesn't care whether his parents approve of the engagement or not. Yeah, there's nothing standing in the way of their engagement, and this Shannon should know that well herself, so why is it that now in this night, where the proposal went so smoothly that she's still praying for the miracle of magic? According to the furniture, she won't even have the right to marry without such a miracle. And there you go, it means that Shannon has accepted George's proposal, but she knows that there's still some kind of barrier that can't be overcome without a magic miracle. And that barrier is something that they can overcome by their own efforts. That's why they need this miracle called magic. Why do they need magic if two people love each other? What other miracle could they possibly need to be together? I see. Further and listen to Angie's interpretation, smiling in a satisfied way. Apparently, she had already reached that conclusion. She enjoyed watching Angie finally manage to do the same. And that same question applies to Kenan as well. The love between him and Jessica Onigin has just begun, but their emotions are pure. There's nothing standing in their way. They're already in a loving relationship, even without the golden butterfly brooch. The relationship they started might easily last for years, eventually resulting in marriage. There's nothing standing in their way either. As long as they don't seek approval from Cross and Natsuhi, it seems they will not need a magical miracle either. Exactly. Kenan watched how Shannon later changed his own way of life. They didn't let true feelings be known and started a relationship with Jessica. I'm going to sneeze. I took a break after season, so yeah, let's get back to this. Okay, then he let his true feelings be known and started a relationship with Jessica Onin-chan. There's no need for magic anymore. If it were one set of love, then he might need a love charm or something. But their feelings are already mutual. They've already communicated their intentions to one another. So why they still need a magical miracle? Both furniture were in relationships of mutual love. There shouldn't have been any need for a miracle any longer. So why do they still desire some miracle? On top of that, the single brooch was portrayed as if bestowing only a single miracle. It felt almost as though Shannon was hesitating because if she used up that miracle for herself, Kenan's chances at love would be automatically sealed away for eternity. So this is the question. Why is furniture not allowed to love? So you ask why love will not be permitted without the miracle known as magic. And also, though the furniture limits with such certainty that they were unable to love, this golden butterfly brooch is supposed to give them permission to do it. Just what on earth is it? Of course, it's a crystallization of magic. However, like most magics, it can be burnt by anti-magic toxin. So it can only have an effect for those who believe in magic and witches. Correct. So Shannon, who was capable of interacting with me, was able to make use of its benefits. However, if Shannon had dropped it on a sandy beach and someone knew nothing and picked it up, if that person was short an anti-magic toxin, they wouldn't be able to make use of the brooch's magic power. Precisely. Witches, magical items often lose their power if they are not handed over directly. However, just as how a witch can manifest herself if her existence is acknowledged by a great many humans and the anti-magic toxin disappears, the power of that magical item can be preserved if it's believed in by a great many humans. That's ironic. No matter what kind of magic we witches give out, everything depends on whether the human we give it to can accept it. I've heard that the same goes for medicine. Even with the exact same medicine, humans who know of the medicine side effects experience it to a greater degree. Oh, I think I understand when thinking coldness. I've gotten the feeling that's more effective when you read the description on the bottle. As she listened to Beato, thought that magic sounded a bit like a ritual. When most humans think of magic, they think of incredible miracles being performed one after another in front of a crowd of other humans. However, this true magic that the older sister spoke of sounded almost like a ritual, something that has no effect if the person using it doesn't believe. Shannon's heart was captured by George bit by bit as he grew by leaps and bounds. However, she had given up thinking that one of the different classes herself would never find love with him. That was when Beatrice had given her the golden butterfly brooch and encouraged her. Giving up means that you got a zero chance of success. However, if the power of magic makes you think there might be some chance of your wish coming true, then the odds of it happening are at least greater than zero. Zero means zero forever. Some miracle is the fitting word to describe even a faint chance coming to existence. Humans can use magic to defeat resignation, the process by which they themselves make their probability of success zero. When a human refuses to give up, though their chances of success may be small, those chances do exist. The more determined by that they become, the greater their odds rise. It was easy to imagine Shannon making earnest wishes upon the brooch, believing in its effects, and trying little things over and over again to get George to like her. The power of belief becomes magic, and those who make others believe are witches. Those who... Okay. That's what an interesting way to put it. If you think about it, it's true. Let's say a witch steps out of the spotlight, waves her a step in front of a crowd of onlookers, and makes a rabbit appear out of thin air. That many people will see it will surely assuming it must be sleight of hand. They might wonder at how it was accomplished, but they'll usually say that it could have been real magic, and then when they apply it, it will be for a splendid trick that only appeared to be magic. But what if someone performed this sacred ceremony inside a great ancient temple in front of a crowd of believers and end up with the exact same result? Would any of the people there think it was a sleight of hand? In fact, the ancient past, when magic tricks as a form of entertainment didn't even exist and divine spirits were worshipped, this would doubtlessly have been a miracle of magic. In that case, could this here be magic? Well, now what will be the first spell performed by the witch that I'm unable to use magic? Here, I have an empty cup. There is nothing inside it. Yes, it is empty. Hee then. You take it, turn like this to place it upside down. Hee and then what next? Let's close your eyes and chant the incantation. It was the same magic that had been used to give Marina candy. Beetle the elder grinned and closed her eyes. But when she saw this, Beetle slowly chanted the incantation. Come on, try to remember. What was inside the cup? Indeed, come try to remember. What was inside the cup? As she chanted, Beetle slowly opened her eyes and made sure that the older sister was repeating her with her eyes closed. Then a single gold butterfly appeared out of nowhere, fluttered down to the overturned cup, and scattered away in a golden splash. Am I open my eyes now? Yes. Please open your eyes and inspect the contents of the cup. Well, now let's see how well your first bit of magic is performed. Taking her time and checking out the suspense a little, the older sister lifted up the cup. Aha! How is it? Where the cup was lifted, there lay a single golden rose petal. Does this contain magic? Yes, it does. You used magic to create a golden flower petal inside an overturned cup. It was a splendid bit of magic. Oh, shit. Golden text. Without love, it cannot be seen. That much I understand. It may be viewed as a trick. It may also be believed to be magic. It all depends upon the toxin of the individual. Then again, while this can be explained, some of the magic has been used in the past. It can't explain everything. To get back to the point, all this stuff about believing in magic and rituals, it doesn't answer the question. What was this golden butterfly brooch which allowed the furniture strongly believe that they could not love the falling find love? If we blindly accept the story of those two Beatos as true, might we assume that magic had the power to cancel out their feelings of resignation? Why must the furniture let fall in love? Why is the power of the magic brush necessary? Yes, it does seem at glance as though what you and Vitor are saying provides an easy answer, though a vague one. However, let me say this as a reader, I can't accept this as you presented it. You cannot accept it, you say. The tragedy of those furniture are struggling to resist is way too big to be explained away by that. I thought that they could reform their way of thinking just because they were given some charm for making relationships. It's true that the brooch gave Shannon a chance that she needed to get together with George Oni-chan, but sometime after that she wanted to open deep in their relationship without borrowing the power of magic, and she even tried to broach us back to be it, though at that point she supposedly rejected that miracle magic for the first time. So why would that power be necessary again? Well, now, perhaps there's no way to say it except that love and marriage are very different things. Featherin laughed lightly. She had probably formed a theory of her own and was laughing at Ange, who hadn't reached it yet. Let me hear it. What's your view? I like to keep that to myself for just a while longer, and of course, once you form doubts and let your mind race is one of the joys of being read aloud too. If I gave you my views, you would accept them and stop thinking. Then having you read aloud would be no fun. So you're having me read a mystery novel you already know the answer to, just so you can enjoy watching me blunder about. While I am the witch of theater going, if you wish to laugh at my bad taste, please do not hold back my Mako. Well, ha ha ha. Yeah. I understand that part of magic is created by believing heart. And that magic probably permits deep into the world of us humans as well. However, though it's permits so far, the power that dwells within it, magic is small. Lots of people visit shrines to pray for success on tests. However, people rarely credit such a visit as reason for their success. By itself, praying is little more than give one peace of mind and love, or even a small chance of little bit of courage can result in major changes. This power can sometimes bring about incredible transformations. However, this would seem like this would really be enough to change the insurmountable fate of Jur. In the past, when Shannon and George were brought together, I imagined that the brooch's magical power functioned a little more than a religious charm. However, by now, the magical power that the furniture seek from that brooch is not something as fake as a ritual. It feels much stronger, like a whole different blah 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 blah, because I accidentally skipped it. Anyways, if you believe in the sleight of hand because of magic, but that's no more than a child's trick, and it only explains one part of magic. They are hoping for something. They're hoping for something with much more power for true magic than sleight of hand. So then, just what kind of magic is furniture exclusive for that brooch? A golden butterfly brooch? There exists a magic charm the golden witch Beatrice gave to Shannon in exchange for smashing the mirror, in which made her love bear fruit. That's what it is. From his pocket, Kenan pulled a single wing from a gold butterfly. Though it was a single wing, it was easy to tell from its shape that it had originally been part of something with a gold butterfly motive. The magic of this brooch gave Shannon the chance she needed to start her relationship with George Summer. However, before that magic was fully realized, she left it to me. So thanks to the power of this brooch, I gained your affection, my lady. That's not true. I started liking you because of my own honest feelings. Thank you very much. You're human, so you do not believe in witches and magic is only natural. However, as furniture created by magic, my very existence here is proof that miracle magic exists. Sorry, what are you talking about? Just go try to make sense of Kenan's words. However, she couldn't understand how to ask him to repeat it, swearing a stiff smile. Both Shannon and I need magic to succeed in love. The key for that is this brooch. I stepped on it and crushed it, so we each have one part now. The brooch had lost its power when it split in half. However, if it was ever joined together again, its magic would be revived. It would revive the miraculous power that could join furniture and human together. However, a single brooch can only grant one person's wish. Only one of us furniture could be joined by the single brooch. That was the final seed of love, a spark of love which the old, truly laughing Beatrice had sown. The old Beatrice had said that humans tormented by the spark were like ripe fruit, which she crudely used for her own enjoyment. However, that magic infused with this seed was real. It was the only crystallization of magic that golden witch Beatrice had ever left in this world, and its glint increased. Oh, what the? It's okay, but please don't look right at it. I'll blind you. Ah, the glint grew even stronger, shining like the sun, even without Kenan's warning. Jessica wouldn't have been able to stop herself from covering her eyes with her hands. As the light grew stronger, it sounded like a roar of wind, or the tide of so great intensity. The sun and wind and the rain outside had already been overwhelmed. Jessica could no longer even stand, and she crouched on the floor and flooded of sun and light. Until it withdrew, Jessica could do nothing but moan. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. It's a little bit of a shorter video compared to normal, but it's 11 at night, and I gotta work, and I just got a hate comment saying you are ugly as fuck, motherfucker. Ooh. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all later. Hope you guys enjoyed.